Hey, how's it going? Cody Shane here, and this is Audio by Cody. I've got a topic that I would like to discuss today. So 5 principles that a successful artist understands. I'm just gonna go straight into it, no filler here. So number 1, a successful artist has a clear definition of success. And that's going to look different for everyone. But you do have to figure out what that looks like for you. And the actuality of success is not going to match what you think it looks like, but you need to have a realistic expectation of success. So everyone's success is different, but I can give some direction and how to look at defining success for yourself. So just first off, I think that a lot of people have the impression in the music industry that success looks like star status. I think most of us understand that that's not true, but I would like to point out the fact that the music industry is a lot bigger than the star status part of the industry. Music exists and has roles throughout communities everywhere. So if you, honestly, I don't know why you would want star status anyway. Most artists struggle to stay connected with their art once they hit that status. They become extremely wealthy. And if your goal is to be extremely wealthy, honestly, I would advise you to maybe not take being an artist so seriously, because it's a lot easier to become wealthy other ways. Being an artist has nothing to do with being financially successful, unfortunately. So live music needs performers, engineers. Not everyone has their own studio. Not everyone can do the whole process of creating something. There are many roles throughout all branches of music for someone to have a place as an artist or an engineer or anyone that wants to work with music. So finding what is realistic and what your path to success is a crucial part in understanding and living a successful life as an artist. So that brings me to number 2 is you have to be adaptable. So adaptability. And that kind of plays into what I was just saying. It may not look like what you think it looks like, but you need to adapt. An example of that is I identify primarily as a recording artist. I like to compose and write and create. I have had more opportunities in live music in the music industry and hardly any in my area that I'm comfortable in. And I have enjoyed that side of it, but I work in live music because it is an avenue into live music, and that is me being adaptable. Also, there may be times when your situation is not very productive. Your situation is not very, missing a word here, it's not very helpful to your mission of whatever you're doing as an artist. Right now I'm living in an apartment with people living above me. It's not ideal, but it is something that I have to adapt to. I am also in the city, which is new for me, and my recording levels have a very impressive noise level that I'm working with, and that's just examples of things that you have to adapt to, but also throughout the long term of life as an artist. There will be times when you don't have access to being able to create your art or finish your art or do your art at all. As an example, I a few years ago spent some time traveling. I was working jobs traveling around. I had none of my instruments. They were in storage, and I continued to make music because I can't help it, and I have to find a way. And you know, that music didn't have any instruments in it. It's just, you have to adapt. And then there could be a lot said about adaptability, but I'll leave it there. And then going into the number 3 is balance. So balance is basically long-term adaptability. Throughout the course of life, things are very dynamic. Balance will not always look the same at one point in your life as it will in future points of your life or other points. So there's so much to be said about balance as an artist that it's a topic in itself, and I almost don't want to say too much about it in this video because I don't want to make it too long about this one. So just some brief points is you can't just be an artist. You have to live life outside of that. Unfortunately, we have to eat and exercise and do other things that inspire our art. I am just as guilty as the next person is getting into a spiral with my art, spending too much time on it, and my art declining because of it. And that's something that we all go through, and we learn to keep that balance and create a balance. And then when things change in life, you have to adapt and create a different balance. It's going to look different. So, you know, there's physical, mental, spiritual, everything in your life. In order for you to feel like a successful artist and be a successful artist, you have to have some form of balance. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have so many things that I want to say about that. I'm actually struggling to really talk about anything in particular. So moving on to number 4. So this is the most simple to explain and the most difficult to accomplish. You have to learn how to separate your ego from your art. There are so many things that we as artists make difficult on ourselves because of our emotional ties and our ego. Just a simple example is just arrangement. If you are emotionally attached to something and it is not making something better, just being broad about this, because of your emotional attachment and ego and how hard you worked on something, you may not even consider taking that something out of the situation, out of the mix, out of the song, and your ego will keep you from even thinking about cutting it out. And I think it's our job as an artist to really work on being able to recognize those things. That way we can separate ourselves and make the best decision for whatever it is that we're accomplishing, whatever art that we're serving. And just a note on leaving parts in a song that should be taken out, that would sound better taken out. You can struggle to take a part out that you get a feeling is too much, but you don't want to take it out because you work so hard on it. So there's 2 things that could happen. You separate your ego, you take it out, you acknowledge that it's better without, or you leave it in. If you leave it in, there is a chance that you may come around and be like, wow, I'm glad I left that in. I find that more commonly, I would realize afterwards, later on, I always would have the feeling of I should have muted that part. I should have taken that out. And you will forever live feeling that. If you go the other route and you take something out that you have a feeling you should, you chances are will forget that that part existed, and you'll probably be happier with it overall. And I'm being pretty broad about that, and nothing has hard rules. That's what I got for that. So number 5, and this is the most important one, of course, always best for last. This is very simple. You have to enjoy being an artist. You have to be an artist for being an artist. You will not be a successful artist. You will not feel like a successful artist if you aren't living the life because you enjoy it. It is going to pull and resist and fight with you unless you enjoy the struggle, unless you enjoy the high times, unless you enjoy the joys of your creations while also acknowledging the struggle and the fight for balance and adaptability and all of the things that come with it. You have to enjoy the recording anxiety. You have to enjoy being vulnerable. You have to be open to expressing yourself in different ways if that is needed. Being an artist is not an easy thing, and it's only for those who enjoy it and those who can't help but be an artist. So those are my opinions on things. Those are things I've learned, and I hope that that is helpful to anyone that finds this. So I have been very busy. I am finishing up the mix on an album that I have been working on for 2 years now. So yeah, just wanted to take some time to film this. So that's all I got for now.